To order. First thing is do the roll call, please.
Councilmember Kidwell. Here. Councilmember Teague. Here. Councilmember Ward.
Here. And we're checking on Councilmember Hensley, so we'll follow up on that. First thing I'd like to do is, do we need to add this agenda item first? Okay. First thing I'd like to do is to add an item to the agenda. It's in reference to a paving project out on Church Street. Do I hear a motion to add this to our agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Okay, I'd like to invite Reverend Mike Sauls to come up and lead us in our invocation, and then Tim help us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Good and gracious God, we come to you with thankful hearts. We are thankful for all creation, for this day, and for this community in which we live. We are thankful for our elected leaders who serve our community, for our municipal employees who serve our community, and for our community members who care for this community and appear before this city council today. Almighty God, we prayerfully ask for patience and understanding as we engage in dialogue with one another, and we prayerfully ask for wisdom and guidance regarding the decisions that are made here. May they be in the best interest of our fellow citizens in our community. Amen.
Amen. Place the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, well, I'll go ahead. He's on his way, so I'll just, before we do the employee recognitions, I've got a couple of things I'd like to talk about. So, first of all, Main Street Greenville sold turkeys that were very, very good. If you didn't get one, you might want to check on it next year. Todd and I were talking about them yesterday. They were very, very tasty. You want to add anything?
I ate part of it yesterday and leftovers, and they're good 5 days later as they are the day of.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
It's not turning green yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's good. Second, the turkey trot started, and I was there, and I was trying to get a little bit of a head start, and look what our chief of police did to me. He was trying to arrest me and throw me into the cruiser. So if you go to the turkey trot, make sure you don't try to sneak off early, because he will get you. Third thing, Shop Small was this weekend. Jeff, how'd that go? Well, there was a good article in the paper about that and getting it out, so thanks to the Greenville Sun for that. And coming up, we got a couple things going on. First of all is the downtown Christmas activities are on Friday. Jan, you want to come up and talk about them a little bit?
Thank you. I'd be happy to. The events Friday night begin at 6. There will be musical entertainment. The attractions will be open. Shops will be open late. There'll be plenty of food, shopping. Santa will be there in the Pocket Park. We'll be making magic reindeer food. We have the Kringle Kids Craft Corner that'll be at First Presbyterian Church. The hotel will have the community jazz band. We have a holiday market with about 10 or 12 vendors that'll be taking place. And so we span from Church Street all the way down to McKee with events and hay wagons from Public Works. So it'll be a fun evening. It's going to be cold, but right now it appears to be dry, so we can't ask for more than that. So we invite the entire community to come out and join us from 6 to 9 on Friday night with the tree lighting at 8:30. And I understand there might be a dual proclamation from our mayors.
There might be.
All right, so that's exciting. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to add to Jan's, if I may, the Southern Sanctuaries, Jan. The churches downtown will be open for everybody to come in and tour, visit. Please do. Thank you.
And there's great graphics and publicity both on the partnership's website and ours and on Facebook about Southern Sanctuary. So it's a great time for everybody to come and see what the churches look like if you ever want to.
Which churches are that? Do you
They're all
know?
in the downtown area.
Okay.
Participating. So it'll go from Reformation to Christ United, all the way up the street, and everybody in between. There'll be music, history, just a variety of things. So GCP does a great job organizing that and adding that to the event.
For those of you that are history buffs, St. James has the oldest pipe organ west of the Allegheny Mountains. I think it was brought over here in 1850, 1848, somewhere around there. So it's kind of cool. It's got the pump, and it still operates it sometimes.
And that beautiful stained glass in Christ United Methodist, I hope they have that all turned on it.
Christ Chapel?
Yeah,
And Christ United Methodist too.
beautiful.
No, it's pretty, so it's well worth it to see that and enjoy the evening. And Asbury will have a variety of music by a variety of people, which is nice. So if you want to be downtown and stay out of the cold, you can go sit in Asbury and enjoy music all evening.
Jenny mentioned the joint proclamations. We had one today. Kevin Morrison and I presented it to the Queen Emily Willis. She was the queen for a day and visited around different locations and talked about how important it is to give back, kind of representing the United Way. She had a big day. Her first stop was at Tipton's, and she got to have a fried honey bun. And then got to go to the radio station and be on the radio. And she took Ron a fried bun also. I think she kind of enjoyed that. But she traveled around, did a lot of different things, met up with a lot of different people, and Kevin and I were able to present that to her this afternoon. And then Friday, I'll not go into it, but we'll have a proclamation talking about the Christmas season that we will do at 8:30, just before the lighting of the tree. So we've done this the last couple of years, and it's a great event, and I hope you'll come out and see it. Our downtown it keeps growing, looking better. It's very exciting about all that's going on down there. So, and if you haven't been in a while, and you can look at the building that's going up on Depot Street and some of the other activities that are going on down there, I think you will enjoy it. I also understand we have a couple of members of the Leadership Greenville class, so I'd like to ask you to stand up and introduce yourself and tell us where you work and what you do.
My name is Kelly Schofield. I work at American Greens, and I'm their material buyer there. Kelly Hendricks. I work at Walter Track Community College, and I'm a workforce training specialist, so I do a lot of instructional
What kind of specialist?
workforce training specialist.
Oh, okay. Good deal. Well, thanks it's a great program that you're participating in. Was fortunate enough to do it, I think, about a long time ago. And I think you'll learn a lot. Next, I'd like to invite Patsy up. I think we've got a special recognition today.
As always, I really appreciate being able to do this. It's always exciting. I have a couple of folks at HR and Public Works Department is recognizing today. So I'd like to ask for Matt Cosno and Kevin Freudenberger to come up front, please. I think they decided they're not going to be shy.
They both are.
Yeah, that'd be all right. We want everybody to know, our board and our public to know, what great guys you are. And I will, go further with stating that this is for their dedication to the town and the safety of its citizens. Matt and Kevin responded without hesitation early Saturday morning to a call for a fire at the landfill. They are part of a select group of employees that possess the skills and experience to work safely on the demolition site. Kevin and Matt spent several hours working with the fire department to identify the areas involved in the fire and working to contain it. Their skills were instrumental in bringing the situation under control, and they continued to respond throughout the weekend to keep the situation safe. The town is fortunate to have such dedicated employees, and their commitment to the Public Works mission is deeply appreciated. And we thank them again for assisting and making dangerous situations safe. And even our Fire Chief Shipley made a comment, this come from the Greenville Sun, that, talking about the heavy equipment that they have, and moving all the debris and trying to find the hot spots, that he knows that must have been very difficult. And I know he appreciated it too, because that's a tough job. So what I've got some gift cards for these two gentlemen for Lowe's, $25 gift cards. So if you want to turn around and get some pictures. And the mayor and our city manager also has something or two.
He came out of the tree stand. I don't know, you'll have to leave your phone somewhere else.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Thank you.
Don't leave. This is such a fun meeting. I can't believe you'd leave.
They've got to go check on the fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hot spot.
Thanks so much, guys. Okay, is there any public comments? All right, well, then we'll move it on to unfinished business. Item 7.1, consideration to approve the minutes from the regular scheduled meeting held on November 19, 2024. Those were sent out on Friday. Kathy working hard on a holiday. Do I hear a motion to approve? We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion or any changes or additions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. All right, item 8.1, new business, is consideration of certificate of compliance for retail package store. Chief Spano? How are you?
Doing good, how are you?
Good. Other than the fact you threw me in the back of that police car, but
Yeah, we have fun every now and then. So, what they were, I believe they have purchased the Eagle Wine and Beverage place out by Dunkin' Donuts. Got a gas station on one side, and there's an alcohol place on the other. And so they have purchased that place, and they're gonna change it to the Eagle Wine and Spirits, is that correct? So they went and got their background checks done, and then they had, it was run by the FBI and the TBI, and then there was a National Criminal Offensive Report done by CenturyLink, which is a private company that does that stuff, because we as law enforcement can't run some of the stuff that they need to run. So, but they came back clear, everything looked good. I would respectfully say go ahead and pass it. There were a couple of minor fire code issues that doesn't fall under me and doesn't necessarily fall under this, but they will have to get them up to date in order for them to be able to get their state license. So, but everything is good on our end.
And related to that, what an option that the city council could do is approve this permit pending all of the issues with the certificate of occupancy get taken care of. So that's one option. You can approve it pending.
Does anybody know what the issues are?
There is a lock that needs to be changed on the back and then some housekeeping items that I don't think would be an issue.
Okay, so are you gonna take care of those fellas?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay. All right, well, thanks, Todd. Well, do I hear a motion to approve?
So we're approving it pending the
Pending.
city vote. Approved, okay.
Yes. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I still need to get you to sign this, but we'll get it taken care of.
Okay. And Alan, will David go back over and check that? Okay. All right. Well, we've got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Next is item 8.2. It's consideration of approval on first reading of an ordinance for property at West Main and King Street.
Afternoon, council. We have two rezoning requests to present to you today. The first, as you will note, is located along West Main Street down to King Street. Walgreens is there on the corner. Apex Bank is the other building kind of in the middle there. This request began with two residential houses located here at the intersection of King Street and West Main. And of course, I've been before you many times with the situation of residential structures being in M2 zones and that causing issues with financial institutions. So those two individuals had discussed or asked about getting those rezoned. So while we were doing those rezonings and looking at this area of town, you recall last summer, we had a summer intern, William Sams, who did a pretty thorough study of our zoning districts in Greenville and made several recommendations of areas that we could improve. This is one of those areas that was recommended. And our rationale for this is by the fact that this part of town is obviously being developed much more as a business, commercial district as opposed to manufacturing. That it made more sense and I think would bring more value to these properties with a B4 zoning designation applied to them. It also will solve the issue with the two residential structures at the intersection. During our planning commission meeting, there was discussion. We were going to include this business here in the design, but that gentleman requested to not be. This business decided that he did want to be included in our rezoning. So these are the tracts that we're presenting to you on first reading to be rezoned from a district of M2 to a business district of B4.
I think we also talked about the fact that this is one of our gateways, and one of our strategic goals is to improve our gateways into town. So we hope that there'll be something that looks good developed there and not something like it's just down the road a little bit from this. So
Randy, have you received any concern from any neighboring
No, I
properties
have
since
not.
it was presented to us on the planning commission?
No, there's been no other communication I've had with anyone, negative or positive about it, so.
We've heard the recommendation. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Randy.
Yes. Got one more.
Item 8.4 or 8.3 is consideration of approval on first reading of an ordinance for property on Reeves Hill Drive.
All right, again, this involves a residential structure that is sort of split zoned. This property here, which Wendy Moore, they came and requested that their entire property, for the same reasons we've stated earlier about issues with M2 zoning, they requested that the remainder of their property be zoned to R2, medium density residential. So that would be a complete zoning. And while we were in this area, we're trying, it's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. We have got several areas where our zoning maps just don't exactly match up with property lines and the way things are noted on our GIS mapping. So in order, we had the properties outlined here. These four properties here, if you'll note, they contain what we refer to as a split zoning. Part of the property is one zone, the other is a different zoning, which creates issues. So what we're simply doing is taking the R2 zone, moving it over to this yellow line, which is the boundary, the property boundaries of these tracts. So that way, the entire tract will be one zone district, which is R2. So all of these properties, one will be changed completely to R2 zone. The others will be completely moved to where they're all included within the R2 zone as well. And have not had any comments or from anyone on this. Of course, letters were sent out to everyone, signs were placed on the property. Had a couple of questions, but no one was in opposition to this. So again, the Planning Commission made the recommendation that we do this rezoning action.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Item 8.4 is consideration of a resolution for the Greenville Fire Department to apply for fiscal year 2024 Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program, AFG. Chief Shipley.
Mayor, it's that time of year again when the grants open up, and I challenged our equipment committee a few weeks back to look at upcoming needs that we may have in our department. And they put some needs down here, the future needs that we may have. And then we got with the grant committee looking to see if we were available to put in for these through AFG. And one thing good about the AFG grant is it's a 5% match. So the match is very reasonable. So they have come up with, one was to put in for a tanker. And you'd say, well, you got fire hydrants everywhere, why do you need a tanker? We have areas inside the town that if we do have a fire with the elevation changes in town, that we may have to supplement the water that we need at those fires. So a lot of times we'll call for volunteer fire departments to bring us tankers. We'll set up dump tanks and such to have enough water to be able to fight those fires. we saw during the floods that we had to end up calling in a striker tanker team that come in and actually help us supplement the water in town. So this was something that was high on the priority list on AFG. So we would ask to be able to apply for that, and that is up to $500,000. So it's a 95% grant with 5% match.
How much would a tanker be?
That's what they priced one between 460 and 500 was what they were looking at. It would not only just have a tank to be able to dump water, but it'll have a pump on it. It can go draft itself, and similar to what we had those teams come in.
Well, I think when we had the fire out there at the landfill, we had to bring in people, didn't we?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is we brought in a bunch of volunteer fire departments to bring tankers in, and we didn't even have our own resource there, so
Yes.
it does come into play at times.
Okay.
Another thing that they identified was our cardiac monitors. Of course, the ones that we currently have are obsolete. They're still operational, and right now we can still get parts for them. Last year, y'all approved us purchasing one. It was it completely went through as remanufactured, saved a lot of money than what a new unit would be. And they would ask to apply for the grants again. That would be $92,000 for 4 of them. So that would replace the ones we have. RIT packs, and what a RIT pack is basically some equipment that we're able to take in. If we get a firefighter that is down, they have an incident inside the structure and they go down. So they have supplementary air they can take in, plus some tools to be able to assist to get that firefighter out. And during our night drills that we did here a while back, we utilized that. They took that equipment inside because we simulated a firefighter being down. So they take that equipment in to be able to rescue that firefighter. So we would ask to get 2 of those, and it's $11,000 for the 2. Also, a forcible entry tool that it's a door that we can actually go up and be able to utilize. You set it up to where you can breach that door and be able to make entry into buildings. And I know we used one. We got one that we actually got from the police department. It was an old jail door down there that we've used, but there's only so many things that you can do with this. This other one, you would be able to set it up in several different ways, and it would be a really good training tool for that. And that, with the training, they would send someone in to train all 3 shifts and the door, and it's $15,000 for the total on it. Last thing on the list was our thermal imaging cameras is beginning to become obsolete. They're getting dated, so we would ask for 2 of those, and there's $7,300 for the 2 of those. All these items would be 5% match.
So what's the total?
Total match would be $31,267.
What's the total request?
90.
Yeah, 105% of that.
I didn't do my math on that one.
It's okay. It's all right. When you apply for these, are you eligible for all of them, or do they?
Yeah, different areas. It's different areas of the grant, so we would be able to put in for those items.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead, Gene.
Well, I was just gonna say, but you could end up getting some or all or none.
None, yes.
So I was curious about the match, so I went and looked into the grant. It mentioned that for cost share, there were the 2 options of either cash cost share, or there was the trade-in allowance credit for equipment that is assets that can be valued at a certain amount to be put to offset the cost share obligation. Are we looking at the 5% cash cost share, or are we even eligible for any of the trade-in allowance available?
The trade-in allowance, what we have currently, like I said, our monitors, the TIC cameras are going to be obsolete, so I don't think you're really going to have, any trade-in value on those.
Okay. I was just curious. I'm trying to understand more about how the matches work for these types of grants, and I saw this one had another option besides just a cash match, and if there was a way to take advantage of that to offset that obligation.
It's kind of like when our reserve trucks, and we end up, selling them. Of course, we'd have had something to trade in, so we would have been able to do that, which we sold those, and then that money rolled back in to the general fund.
Thank you, Alan. Do I hear a motion to approve them applying for these grants?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Chief Shipley.
Much.
Oh, and last week, 2 weeks ago, sometime in the near past, we swore some firefighters in,
Yes.
and also some new officers. And I just want to say that was a very nice event, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to participate in it. I'm so proud of our people and our fire department, and so thank you.
Thank you all for participating, and you know, I think the not only our new firefighters, but the ones that have been there for several years come and take that oath and you know, make it public to their dedication, so thank you.
Well, and piggybacking off that too, Tim and I got a chance to go and see the training that took place at night not too long ago, and I just want to say publicly, I've always had high respect for our emergency personnel, but to see the level of composure and professionalism that took place that night, and I mean from everyone, from the drill trainers like you and the men and women that were doing the work, it was just. We have an amazing fire department and an amazing system, and the training facility was, I mean, I was just mind blown, and hope I never have to, call on you all, but I know that I'm in good hands if ever need to.
Thank you. Yeah, they're very dedicated, and the training, they want to train, they want to get better.
Well, there was one thing that they swore to do, and that's run into a fire with no regard to their own life, which is a pretty wow. So anyway, it was something.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Item 8.5, I knew Tony was here today, so I knew there'd be somebody asking for money. Consideration of approval to repair D6 dozer for the landfill.
Always asking for money, right?
But it's well spent.
In addition to what our guys done, I want to thank the police and the fire department for all they done out there for us as well. William Barner and Jesse Jergens, they came in at 1 o'clock one night where it fired back up on us and fought that. And we really appreciate all that everybody had done. I actually was out of town at the time, but they all stepped right in there and took charge, and we appreciate that.
Did y'all find the monkeys?
Yeah. Yeah, from South Carolina, yes, that culprits.
Yeah, we think they were the arsonists that started the fire, possibly.
Exactly.
Jackie Tweed. No, not Jackie. Who was it?
Eddie Key.
Eddie Key told Todd that he thought the fire was started by the monkeys that escaped from South Carolina.
We'll go with
I'm
that.
sorry. It sounds good.
So we're looking to repair, they've actually got it down at Stowers right now. It's our main piece of equipment to compact with, and without it, we can't compact correctly. So we're losing money if we're not compacting the way we should. So we need this dozer fixed as soon as possible. So what we done is went ahead and tried to get a PO and get them started on that. They got it tore down. The clutches are out of it. That's fortunate for us, because it could have been worse, like the gears may have needed new transmission, which would have been up to 30-some thousand. But they can rebuild what we have here for counting labor, the $16,694. So.
How long they think how long will it take once you get the approval?
I think he's asking forgiveness.
Has it already been done?
I went to Todd with an urgent fix, because, we really need it. We have the police, our backup dozers, but they just can't compact like it does.
How many hours on this dozer?
It's 6,100, I think, so it's out of warranty, but Stowers said they would try to recoup what they could and maybe help us out. I don't know how much yet, but it's pretty soon. It's,
Bear in mind, neighbor. I'll make
Yes.
a motion, we approve.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, like sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Tony.
thank you very much.
And then item 8.6 is the repaving of Church Street and the changing of the amounts and what it's gonna do to us. So Todd or Laura, who wants to do that?
We added it. 8.6. That's this?
I'm sorry, we added it before
Well, I
you.
apologize, I was tardy, so.
It's okay.
I gave you my sheet. I had it.
To the mayor, it's okay.
This is a request from us to TDOT. We have a grant contract, the street resurfacing for Church Street, that started in 2021, and then it just kind of lay dormant for about 18 months. So this is the construction cost only at this point. Has increased $913,000. And so fortunately, we have over $1 million in Smart Cities money at the state that we can utilize. So, what we need is the $913,362. Our local match will be just under $183,000, and that's what I need approval for today. I will say that the final word that I got from TDOT yesterday was to be cautious, because when it goes out to bid, if the bid is over the contract construction price, we'll be back again for another local match. So, but it's ready to go to bid. This is what's holding up construction, and I had a Teams meeting with them yesterday after months and months and months of trying to get somewhere with it, and we finally got it off the ground, so.
I'd like to thank Laura and her group, because we had some people asking about getting that paved, and they've tracked it down, and anyway. So, the original quote was about $913,000, so it's double.
It was $1,034,000, and we are at just under 2.2 million. It's gone up that 913. 2021 to 2024. In 3 years, it's gone up almost double.
So, we've already committed $180,000, so, and we'll be committing another $180,000?
We committed about 200,000. We need another 180, this number, the 183
Okay.
of local dollars.
Todd?
I recommend approval.
This comes out of fund balance.
We'll take it out of fund balance.
What's that do to the fund balance?
It's not 100,000, 180,000, 200, it's not gonna move it very much from where we were.
We're still at 26, or is that where we are?
We'll be somewhere, I think budgetary, we were like at 24 point something. It's gonna keep us right at the 24 level. We're not losing.
I think we also had some, I'm sorry,
Oh, yes, yes.
we also had some, after our audit, we had some additional monies added into fund balance, not this year?
We, FY '24, we budgeted to take an amount out of fund balance. We ended up not taking as much, or do we add a little bit FY '24? Our
We
fund,
did, the majority of our drawdown that we budgeted was bond money. And so we actually, the largest component of our budgeted drawdown was the fire truck, which was $997,000. We actually drew down about $680. So we had about $300,000 savings.
And we're not buying a chipper.
And we're not buying a chip.
The chipper, yes.
Well, we have a recommendation. Do I hear a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those against, like sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
will let her know as soon as I get back to the office, and then they are ready to go to bid tomorrow. They're gonna get that process moving forward for construction.
Yeah, she'll still be at work.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
she'll still be at
right.
work, yes, she's waiting on it. Thank you.
All right, that completes the agenda. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Mayor, did you say something?
No, go ahead. I've got one announcement, or a couple announcements.
Okay,
You want me to go ahead?
yes.
Just a reminder that Sunday is our annual Christmas parade as well downtown, so please come out to the Christmas parade and all the festivities that happen with our Christmas parade on Sundays at 2 o'clock, and it's downtown, so please come out and enjoy this festive season. And also the day before that, Saturday, which is Pearl Harbor Day, so remember Pearl Harbor on Saturday, but there's also a Wreaths of Remembrance event at our National Cemetery, and this is the event where they put wreaths on the headstones of the cemetery out there. It's a beautiful event, and the cemetery is absolutely beautiful with the wreaths out there.
What
So
time?
that's at 11:30 on Saturday.
11:30?
Yes. I think I'm saying that right. If anybody knows different, but I think it's 11:30. So thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion, and I think we had a second to adjourn.
I'll give you one.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, like sign. Motion carries. We're adjourned.
42.
Thanks